TGIF, my lovely followers. It's your queen, Sarah, and we are back with another fun Friday. Well, another Friday video. Like, I do have to include a bit of politics in this fun Friday video. I'm gonna try to make it fun though, because we're still don't worry, we're still gonna have a fun Friday video, but like, I do kind of have to like briefly discuss like recent events because something pretty big has happened in the Middle East. So before we get on to the topic of today's video, let's have a brief discussion on current events. Let's talk about the ongoing war of aggression against Iran. The reason why we have to talk about that is like something has come up, like supposedly, according to the mainstream media, Iran has supposedly agreed to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and give up their nuclear weapons. Supposedly, you know, if you believe them, if you believe what the Fox News right-wing mainstream media has to say, then Iran is currently giving up their nuclear weapons and will allow the Strait of Hormuz to be reopened. Now, look, let me say, if this truly is the end of the war, like, obviously, like, part of me is glad, but, like, I just don't believe it, you know? I do not believe that it is genuine. I do not believe for 1 second that Iran has surrendered. Especially after everything the world bully has done to them. Like, after the plethora of war crimes that the military-industrial complex have committed in Iran, including bombing that girls, that they blew up a bunch of girls, they blew up a bunch of children. They committed literal war crimes against Iranian children. Look into that. Like, I do not believe for 1 second that Iran is just going to surrender. Like, not after everything the world bully has done to them. Like, I don't believe that. I'm sorry, but I just don't believe that. As much as I want this war to be over, I do not believe that Iran would just capitulate. That Iran would just let the West and the world bully get away with the war crimes that they have committed over there. Because, like, let's be real. America murdered the Ayatollah. They blew up all those girls in Iran. It's like, and I cannot see Iran just letting that go and surrendering. And look, I'm going to share a few theories of what I think the truth could possibly be with this whole Iran scenario. Like, I want to go ahead and stress now that, like, I do not know if these are true. These are just my theories. These are just, like, my educated guesses at what could possibly be actually happening over there. So please take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt about Iran. But anyway, please take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. But, like, the only feasible way that I can see Iran just, like, throwing in the towel and capitulating after everything they've been through is if some sort of secret coup happened behind the scenes. That is the only way. Like, if some sort of CIA/Mossad coup occurred within their government that we never heard about, like some Clandestine secret James Bond style operation that occurred that somehow did regime change without us knowing about it, which that sort of thing is possible. Like, there are plenty of black ops that go on that we don't know about. There's plenty of things that the three-letter agencies and the intelligence agencies do that we do not know about, that never see the light of day until decades after they're done. This could be one of those things. Like, that's entirely possible, that there is something going on behind the scenes that we do not know about with the intelligence agencies, that some sort of coup was conducted behind the scenes in Iran. That is entirely possible. I'm not saying for sure that that happened. I do not have any proof that that happened. That's just my theory as to what could have happened if it's true. But just for the record, I do not believe the mainstream media. I do not believe Iran actually surrendered. At least not permanently. There's no way. There's no way they're going to let the world bully. They're going to let Green ISIS commit all these war crimes and just surrender afterwards. Like, if they did, that would be horribly disappointing, that America gets to just, like, be the bully again. They get to be, like, the terrorist. Because the United States, the U.S. military are the terrorists. It's not Iran. It's not any of these groups they want you to be scared of. It's not the big bad Muslims that all the right-wingers and religious freaks want you to think are coming for you. No, it's Washington. It's Green ISIS. It's the military-industrial complex. They're the real terrorists. It's not Iran. It's not Afghanistan. It's not any of these Muslim countries that they want you to be scared of. Halfway around the world. No, it's Washington. It's Green ISIS. It's the military-industrial complex. They are the terrorists. Iran, like, these people, these poor people that are just trying to live, yeah, they're not the terrorists. Like, America is the terrorists. So, yeah. So, anyway, like I was saying before, like, unless there is some secret behind-the-scenes coup that the public have not heard of, like, I think this is a total farce. This supposed peace, like, I do not think it will last. As much as I hate that, as much as I want to bite my tongue for saying that, because I do want peace, believe me, I am a peace advocate. But, like, no, I don't believe that. And if there is peace, if somehow we got them to surrender without doing a coup, by some, like, sheer miracle, then no, this is not peace. Like, let me explain to you why. Let me explain to you why. Why this is not really peace. Because of Pax Judaica, because Israel, the Zionist apartheid state, wants to be a global superpower. That is why all this insane nonsense is happening in the Middle East. That is why we have been dragged into a 20-plus year quagmire in the Middle East. First it was Iraq, then Afghanistan, and Libya, and Syria, and God knows how many other countries that we intervened in, whether through boots on the ground or CIA operations. But it's like, the whole reason behind all this, the whole reason behind this entire cluster fluff is Greater Israel. It is Pax Judaica. For those of you who are unaware, I would encourage you to look up Greater Israel Project and Pax Judaica. I've already mentioned Pax Judaica in a previous video. There was an excellent video by a Chinese professor where he discussed it. I would highly recommend that all my lovely followers hop over there and watch that. I believe that the Pax Judaica video is on my anti-Zionist playlist. If it is not on the anti-Zionist playlist, then I will add that for you. I thought I added it last time. If I didn't, I apologize for being late on that. Like, I'm currently doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I'm writing, I'm editing my first book. You know, I'm in the final stages, and I'm just kind of busy with stuff and things, so you'll have to excuse me if I'm a little slow. But I will get that for you. If it's not already on the list, which I think it is. I will get it on the list for you. And I highly encourage you, my lovely followers, to look up those things, to look up the Greater Israel Project and Pax Judaica, so you can educate yourself about what is coming. And why, even if what the mainstream media says is true, and somehow, through some, like, miracle, like the orange fascist has actually managed to win this war, which I don't believe for 1 second. Let me make it clear. I've said that before in this video, but I do not believe that Iran actually opened the strait. I think this is just propaganda on behalf of Green ISIS. I think Trump is just trying to manipulate the stock market. That's what I think. Sorry. I swear, I'm not sick or anything. It's just the pollen. Like, when I get out here and I start talking, like, it makes me cough. Like, I don't know what the heck it is. Like dust or pollen or something. Like, I swear, I'm not, like, sick. I know every time I make the videos, I cough. Especially if I'm doing voices or something. But anyway, sorry for that. Anyway, I do not think any of this is real. I do not think Iran has actually thrown in the towel. It's like, it would make no sense after everything that all the war crimes committed against them, that they would just surrender like that. Honestly, if they did, it seems kind of cowardly. If they did. And I would be disappointed. Look, I don't know if they did. That's why I'm saying I don't really believe this is true for 1 second. I don't think they did. But anyway, I felt like I had to cover that. And before I move on to the Fun Friday topic, before I move on, like, let's talk about one more thing. Talk about the next war, because let's say that we win. Let's say that what the mainstream media says is true, and we actually won the war with Iran. It's like, it's not over. I hope all my lovely followers understand that. Like, international jewelry, they are still scheming. Like, they still want the Pax Judaica, and Iran is not the last country. Israel has already started speaking out against Turkey. Like, if you look at the rhetoric coming out of the Zionist regime, like, you know that Israel, their next target, their next group that they want to go to war with is Turkey. That's the next group that they want to go to war with, is Turkey. Like, look that up. I believe Jimmy Dore did a video on that. Like, Israel that wants a war with Turkey. I mean, NATO has already proven pretty much that they're not going to do anything. Like, I believe Turkey was struck by missiles from Iran, and NATO didn't do anything. NATO is pretty much useless. Like, Israel could literally attack Turkey. I'm not saying they would. I don't have any proof that they plan to. I'm just saying that, like, they want to. Like, I don't have any proof that they will, but I do believe they want to, based on what I've heard. That Israel does want a future war with Turkey. Because they want to be the dominant power in the Middle East. Like, that is Israel's goal. Their goal is to be the dominant power in the Middle East and to be unchallenged. That is their goal. And so far, unfortunately, they are achieving that goal with a whole lot of help from America. Like, that is why we were there for 20 years. That is why we were in the Middle East for 20 years. It was not to defend our freedom or whatever crap the mainstream media told you. No. We were in the Middle East to defend Israel, to defend the billionaire class, and to defend the war machine. That's what we were there to defend. Regardless of what kind of bullcrap propaganda the mainstream media have fed you. So yeah, I do think that we're going to have another war in the future with Turkey. I do think that Israel... That's probably why America wants to pull out of NATO and get rid of NATO, so that Israel can attack Turkey without Article 5 getting invoked. That's what I think. That's my personal opinion. My personal theory for the future is that even if this so-called victory in Iran is true, it's not over. It's not over, my lovely followers. I do predict that we will have a future war with Turkey eventually. I don't know when. Hopefully not soon. But I do predict that. And again, I could be wrong. These are just theories. This is just me, like, spouting off at the mouth. This is just me, like, discussing my educated guesses with you. But that is what I think. That is what I think is going to happen next. Anyway, let's move on to the fun Friday topic. Like, obviously, I've already been talking for a while in this video, so, like, I don't think I'm going to do, like, what I was originally planning on doing. Like, I was originally planning on talking about music, because, like, I talked about books, I talked about movies, I talked about internet stuff, like YouTube videos. I think the last thing that I have not covered is music. But we will save that for another day, because the whole Iran thing kind of took over a good chunk of this video. So I think today I'm just going to talk about GTA. I'm just going to discuss some GTA theories and speculation. Because the reason why, I've just had GTA on the brain recently, because I am currently in the process of playing through the OG. I got the trilogy. I got the OG GTA trilogy. And at first I didn't really like it much, but, like, I have been playing San Andreas. I've been playing GTA San Andreas recently, and oh my gosh, that is a great game. Like, that is easily the best game in that trilogy. It is easily the best game in that collection. Easily. By far. Like, when I first started playing, I liked San Andreas the best. But, like, the past few days I have been... Not San Andreas, sorry. I liked Vice City the best when I first started playing. But these few days I have been playing San Andreas, and San Andreas is my new... Honestly, probably story-wise. I know graphics-wise, like, GTA 5 is obviously going to be better, and, like, gameplay mechanics-wise, GTA 5 is going to be better. And to be frank, Red Dead 2 beats the crap out of both of them. But, like, you gotta be fair. Like, San Andreas is a game from, like, over 10 years ago, you know? Like, it's pretty old. Like, I'd say it's at least 20 years old. Not 20, like, more like 10, maybe 15. Well, you know what? Maybe it is 20 years old. Or close to that. Maybe it is. But anyway. Story-wise, like, GTA San Andreas is, to me, like, in my opinion, this is just Tara's opinion, but, like, I think GTA San Andreas is the best game in the series, by far. And honestly, like, as of right now, GTA San Andreas is, like, one of my top open world crime games. Like, if I had a top 10, it would definitely be in, like, the top 5, you know? Like, it would be up there. Now, my number one favorite crime series is still Saints Row. That's still number one. Primarily because you can dress like a woman. That's honestly why I like Saints Row. Like, you can, like, there's so much customization. You can be a woman. And honestly, my favorite Saints Row game was Saints Row 2. I mean, I do like the graphics of 3 better. Obviously, 3 was, like, newer. But, like, despite the somewhat janky graphics, like, Saints Row 2 had an amazing story, okay? I love the story. I love that the Saints Row 2, like, yeah, it had comedy. Like, the Saints Row series is known for being a comedy series, kind of. But, like, Saints Row 2 was actually a serious gangster game. Like, it had moments of comedy. It had moments, but, like, at the end of the day, like, it was still a serious gangster game. And it felt that way. Like, I did like Saints Row 3. 4 was okay. Like, it wasn't as good as 2 or 3, but, like, 4 was okay. But, like, 2 is probably, in terms of story, my favorite. Anyway. I got off on a bit of a tangent there with my Saints Row. Returning to the topic of GTA San Andreas, and I just feel like CJ is a better written character than Michael, Franklin, or Trevor. I do. As someone who actually played GTA 5 before I played San Andreas, like, I think CJ is a better character, straight up. Like, his story. Like, I was really missing out. Like, this is a great game. It's very iconic. I didn't really understand before I played it why people liked San Andreas so much. Why so many fans, GTA fans, like CJ so much. But, like, I get it now. I get why they like him. Like, this is a great game. Now, although San Andreas is my favorite GTA game so far, Red Dead Redemption 2 is still my favorite Rockstar game. Because let's be real. Like, Red Dead 2 has an amazing story, amazing graphics, an amazing gameplay. The only thing I would critique about Red Dead 2 is the online. That is the only thing. That is the only serious gripe I have. I have two. The online, the fact that Red Dead Online was abandoned by Rockstar, that is a serious gripe. Because for those of you who don't know, like, I used to be, like, a very avid Red Dead Online player. I love that game. Like, I have a female character in online, and I just love, like, dressing her up and stuff, and just, like, I love that stuff. It's fun. It's fun to roleplay and stuff. I love that. But it's just highly disappointing that Rockstar abandoned Red Dead Online. And another thing that's disappointing is the fact that we never got a single-player DLC for RDR2. Like, that is, like, borderline criminal. Like, we should have gotten an Undead Nightmare 2, like, straight up. If I was in charge of Rockstar, that's what I would do. It's like... And I find it particularly insulting that GTA Online is still getting updates, but, like, Red Dead 2 cannot get a single-player DLC. We cannot get an Undead Nightmare 2. That is so disappointing to me. Because it is deserving of a single-player DLC. Red Dead 2 is, like, honestly probably one of my favorite games of all time. Heck, maybe I'll just go as far as to say, like, it is my number one favorite game of all time. Like, I have sank, like, over 2,000 hours into that game, okay? Like, 2,700 hours into that game. I love the world. I love the graphics. I love everything about it. Like, I love online. I love just role-playing and doing, like, vintage, like, stuff. Like, walking around in vintage clothes and role-playing in the game. I love all that stuff. And it's just so disappointing to me that Red Dead 2 never got a single-player DLC, and Red Dead Online never got the support it deserved from Rockstar. But that really says something, that despite my complaints about Red Dead 2, Red Dead 2 is still probably my favorite game of all time. Despite my complaints. Anyway, I don't think I have anything left to discuss today. I've pretty much covered everything. I just wanted to hop on and have a little bit of a fun Friday, but also some politics, because I couldn't help it. Because, like, I had to share that with you. I had to share, like, what happened in Iran with you. But, like, I think I'm going to bring this video to a close now. It's about 25 minutes long. Thank you for your support, especially if you watch this video to the end. Thank you all. I hope you all have a good Friday and an awesome weekend. It's finally Friday again. I am hyped. I am thrilled. This is awesome. You know, I look forward to another great weekend. Thank you all for your support. Thank you all. Please like and subscribe and all that streamer stuff. And we are off.